we got a wonderful class. It's covetousness, discerning the needs from your wants. God is going to give us what we need, not what we want. He will say he will never leave thee or forsake thee, meaning that everything that they're supposed to provide for our family and ourselves and our well-being, that he's going to provide, he's going to give us that. You got to be content. If you have a little bit now, that is not your end point. If you have a little bit now, because also I would tend to take things away from you. If you have a little bit now, be content with what you have. You are not going to carry anything to the afterlife. Hey, shalom, shalom, Most High Christ, bless Israel. Today, coming out of IUIC, New Jersey, we got a wonderful class. A class that we got to do a self-examination and examine ourselves. It's covetousness, discerning the needs from your wants. So we're going to start out. I'm Officer Allahu. My reader is Soldier James. All right, Soldier James. We're going to start out with Sirach 29. Come on.
The book of Sirach, chapter 29 and verse 21. The chief things for life is water and bread.
So water, what? You could wash, you could cook. You understand? Read.
And clothing.
Bread, things to keep your body nourished. The things that, what, you got to eat, right? That's the bread. A lot of, in the hood, they say bread is money. So bread, that's actual food. Read.
And clothing.
Clothing, you need clothes. You need certain type of clothes to present yourself to certain type of occasions. For example, if you got to go in a job interview, you need those type of clothes to appear to get the job. You know, the suit and tie, the three-piece suit. You understand? So you need the clothes to clothe yourself. Read.
And a house to cover shame.
Now, for our single brothers, you need a house to cover shame. Whatever's behind your doors, you got to cover that up. You understand? Like, if you realize when you're in your house, everything is to you. You understand? But you got to be able to achieve and get that goal in mind, brothers. So that's the things that we need in society. In order for us to get bread, in order for us to get the nutrition and food, we have to have a job. In order for us to get water to help us hydrate, we have to have a job. And in order for us to get a house to cover shame, we have to have a job. You understand? So those are the chief things. The Bible says, first and foremost, those are the chief things in life, right? So with covetousness and discerning the things, the needs and the wants, right? The wants is your pleasures. The needs is what Sirach 29 mentions. The chief things in life, right? Now, let's get to the mean cottage. Let me get Red Man. Let me get to the first video. Because a lot of, lo and behold, hold up. This is a classic episode right here. But a lot of things that we think we need, we don't need. And this is a show called MTV Cribs. Let's throw that up on.
And it was like, yo, we want to do your MTV Cribs. And I was like, oh, and the first thing they said was, all right, we got a couple of houses picked out for you.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, okay. I said, you know what? I got a house for y'all to come to. And yo, straight up, yo, like no BS, yo. They came to my crib and they walked in my door because I caught them off guard. They ain't have no clue on how I was living. So they walked up in my shit and they started looking around like, yo, you live up in here? I was like, yeah, I live up in here. My cousin was sleeping on the floor. And after I showed them the crib, they went outside and had a meeting.
Oh, wow.
So it was like a film crew of almost this size, and they dumbed it down to like 2 people. One camera guy and 1 sound guy, and that was it. Because that was all that can fit in my house. And they shot it, and at the end, they edited and whatever, and then we made magic.
Take it down. Now read that 23 real quick, because the thing is, that's what you will call a mean cottage, you know? It was no shame in the brother's game. Now pull up that next video. He would explain what was going on and what transpired at MTV Cribs. Because the thing is, I think with that episode, it kind of put an end to the season. Because it was a bunch of lies. You know, all the glamour, all the things. Because what black people tend to do, there's another, Ezra, if you could find me How to Sell to a Negro. There's a lot of things that we spend our money on that we don't necessarily need from day to day. You understand? So let's get that, read that real quick while they pull up those two things. Verse 23.
The book of Sirach, chapter 29, verse 23. Be it little or much, hold thee content, that thou hear not the reproach of thy house.
So be it little or much, and you gotta be content. If you have a little bit now, that is not your end point. If you have a little bit now, because most I would tend to take things away from you. If you have a little bit now, be content with what you have. You have to be content with what you have, because the thing is, you got to be content, because God seems it fit for you to be in that condition now. Now, let me play that video, Nathan.
Told you the show MTV Cribs was a total lie. Let me explain. So, MTV Cribs was one of the most popular and, in my opinion, one of the most iconic shows of all time. But in 2025, fans went back and started to notice that all of the episodes were fake. And the first one is Ja Rule. And in this episode, he showed off his fancy 5-bedroom mansion in Miami. And then, just a few days later, there was a lawsuit that came out. And the truth came out, and Ja Rule actually rented this house for only 4 days. And the reason he got caught was because he threw a party with over 600 people. And the next one is Bow Wow. And Bow Wow's been called out multiple different times for fake flexing, but what fans noticed about this episode in particular is that they forgot to take the license plates off the cars that were owned by a rental company. But Bow Wow wasn't the only one that got caught flexing rented cars. Birdman and 50 Cent were both caught using cars from the same rental company. And next is a singer JoJo, who was extremely popular when her episode aired, but she actually came out later and stated that she was homeless when they filmed her MTV Cribs debut, and the house was actually her uncle's, and she said she'd never even been there. And the worst one that I can't believe nobody called out was Robbie Williams, and bro literally flexed a castle, like a legitimate landmark. And when the episode aired, everybody knew.
All right, pause it. So in the music industry, right, you will see a lot of people fake flexing. Why? Because they want to sell to a Negro. The black man in America, we are rated. Can you look that up as well? What is the rating for the black man in America if we was listed as an actual country, as an actual nation? What does that fall under? Because in college, give me that Hebrews chapter 13, verse 5. Okay, all right, so we're going to wait on that. But read that real quick, 13, verse 5.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13 and verse 5. Let your conversations be without covetousness.
Because what? You tend to see a lot of people be covetous in their conversation. Oh, I just bought this truck. Oh, I got this job, so on and so forth. But the Bible says, let your conversations be without covetousness, meaning that the things that you possess, the things that you have, right? So pull up that thing, How to Sell to a Negro, because the white man created a method for us broke people. And in college, I took a class called multiculturalism, right? And what multiculturalism is all-inclusive, and they bring up every nation, right? So let me see that video real quick. Play it. We're going to dissect it. Don't worry about it.
Hello, I'm Bob Trout. I've got a story here that I think is big, really big, because it's bound to have a terrific impact on business. I'm talking about a new market, a big new market, millions upon millions of new prospects with $15 billion to spend. That's right, I said 15 billion. That's a lot of money, isn't it? The surprising thing is that it's a fresh market, still full of opportunities. It grew up so fast, got so big in a hurry, that few of us realize its scope. Now, these days, nobody's likely to pass up chances to sell.
Skip ahead.
Yet right
He's
here in
doing
our
a
own
lot of
front
filler.
yard, there's a family. Their name is Family. And out of this all, there emerged a story, the story of a new market. Here is what sales psychologists have to say about selling to the Negro.
The secret of selling to the Negro is expressed in one word. That word is recognition. Now, there's nothing unusual about that. People want to be recognized. They need recognition. That's basic in all of us.
Pause it.
But perhaps because he's had so little of it.
Pause it. This is the part that I exactly wanted. Negroes, black people, they want recognition. That's why they buy the white man's clothing line, the white man's designer gear for like hundreds of dollars. Like legitly hundreds of dollars. Why? Because no black label like Sanjon or Fubu ever lasts. Because why? It's black people. Starberries, none of the black designers and none of the black products last because what? Black people want to spend the most expensive stuff. So in order to sell to a black person, you got to have things that's like $300 and up. Because once people see, though you walk in the streets with Jordans, that's $500, you're walking. You're dirtying up them Jordans. But because you're walking around with Jordans, black people want to seem like there's something. That's the concept of how to sell to the Negro. That's why he says, the black people, Negroes seek recognition. Meaning that they want to be what? Recognized. Because what? We've been advertised to have nothing. That's why what? Discerning what? Covetousness. The needs from the wants. The things that you need is not necessarily the things that you need to live your life is what? The things that you can survive day on and day out. But the things that you want is the things that's expensive. You know what I'm saying? But you don't want you want those things, but you don't necessarily need those things to live your life. You need the basic things. Get yourself some Skechers. What's that other? Payless. Get yourself some cheap things. Some Walmart shoes. Temu. Get your things, because the thing is, all our money is going out, but none of our money is staying in. We want to be recognized, recognition.
The Negro needs even more. He needs to feel important and appreciated. This need is a very real and important one. It shows up even in many of the Negro's shopping habits. Anyone who sells or wants to sell to the Negro customer should know about some of these habits. 3 habits in particular play a big part in every sales transaction. To begin with, most Negroes buy by brand. They ask for products by name. They're quick to turn down off-brands. Do you wonder why? Well, listen to what this customer is
All right,
thinking.
so pause it. Negroes buy by brand. That's why they have Versace, Balenciaga, Gucci. They look for brands. They look for recognition. Oh, if I'm rocking the Gucci belt or Jordan sneakers, even though Jordan is a black man, but he doesn't make products for our people. Shoot, Timberlands or Judah? Judah straight Timberlands. But meanwhile, the person that invented Timberlands said, I don't want no niggas wearing my sneakers. By quote. He said, I don't want no niggas wearing my sneakers. But then again, Negroes still purchase Timbs. Hell, name a black person that don't got a pair of Timbs in his crib. But they buy by brand. Read, play.
That last
Take me off
hat
the
I
picture.
bought just didn't hold up at all.
You see, for a long time, the Negro has been sold a lot of shoddy, second-class merchandise. So now he asks for name brands in order to make sure he gets his money's worth. Buying by brand, that's the first important Negro buying habit. Now for the second. The Negro buys good quality merchandise. Symbols of quality and prestige are very important to the Negro customer. This woman, for example, is buying fine crystalware. But she is also buying the admiration and approval of her friends and relatives.
Now, we've been getting on tribe of Judah. I don't know if Judah has this, but every Levi has something called a china. These are dishes and plates that is in display that, that nobody uses. Nobody touches. It's just on display in your house. This is what we see right here. Does Judah have chinas, quote unquote? Probably not no more. But I know Judah has couch plastics. The things that the plastic that sit on the couch. They spend $7,000 on a couch and they put couch plastics on them. And yo, you sit on that couch. It's hot, but you're gonna get a beating. I remember getting beatings for sitting on the couch. Hello, it's a seat. But the thing is, they spent $7,000 on the couches. That's how you sell to a Negro. That's how you sell to a Negro. Come on, play it.
Listen to her thoughts.
My, isn't it beautiful? I can hardly wait to show it to Sally and Joan.
It's a well-known fact that many Negro customers are influenced by the opinions of others. What their friends may think of a certain item often decides whether or not the sale is made. So remember, the Negro buys quality merchandise. That's the second important point. And here's the third thing to remember when selling to a Negro customer. When he specifically asks for one thing, don't try to sell him something else. Don't try to switch him at the point of sale. If you do, he'll probably react something like this.
Doesn't he think I've got the money to pay for it?
There's a reason for this reaction. Again, because he's had experience with cheap merchandise, the Negro resents being offered a substitute. He wants to be sold on quality, not price.
Now,
the Negro buys by brand.
That's the third fact.
Buys.
Pause it. This is very good because I think I've seen this video in either high school or college, right? You can take the video entirely down. That third fact says, okay, we think so low of ourselves when we go into these stores that, okay, people think, oh, we can't afford or buy it. So our intentions is to actually buy it, right? Now, find me that video. So we finish that precept real quick while they find that video.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13 and verse 5. Let your conversations be without covetousness.
Because why? They bragging about the things that they have. They even in the truth, you see that thing too. Oh, I got the cowboy boots. Oh, I got the new Jordan. Even in the truth, you see that thing because them cowboy boots be like 200 plus. The real leather, the real skin be like 600 plus. But you know, the poor brothers like myself, we bought the $200 plus boots. But all in all, but the thing is, our people, when we walk into certain stores, they're like, oh, okay, they don't think we're going to buy it. But we buy up the whole thing, right? Now, give me the next, finish. Go ahead.
Let your conversations be without covetousness, and be content with such things as ye have. For he hath said, I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee.
That's Bible right there. So the righteous, they need to know, okay, God is going to give us what we need, not what we want. He will say he will never leave thee or forsake thee, meaning that everything that's supposed to provide for our family and ourselves and our well-being, that he's going to provide for, He's going to give us that. The Lord is going to give us that. Let's get that precept in Psalms 37, verse 25. Let me know when you find that video with Shaq. Read that. Remember that third point.
The book of Psalms, chapter 37 and verse 25.
Read.
I have been young and now am old.
This is what? David speaking, right? This is David speaking? So David said he has been young and old. Read.
Yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread.
So you will never become poor. And once you keep in the law, statutes, and commandments, God is going to make sure you're good. Not great, because if you great and you got enough, you might forsake him. God is going to make sure you good, you straight. He going to make sure you okay. But David said, yo, I have been young and old. I never seen the righteous forsaken or begging for bread, meaning that they poor. The righteous is always taken care of by the Lord. You understand? Is it more on that? Come on, let me get that. Because the people in the world, we on the bottom because we always trying to flex. We trying to flex against another Negro, another Jewite, another Levite, another Benjamite. You know what I'm saying? A Benjamite. We always trying to flex against our own people. But then again, when you look at the millionaires out there, they driving 2003 Fords. They're driving regular stuff. They're wearing the standard clothes. They're wearing Payless shoes. They're wearing things from Primark. You know, that's a regular millionaire. But when you look at the black neighborhoods, they'll live in the projects, but they'll have 72-inch TVs in every single room. Sound system in every single room. But then again, they so tight. They so tight. Like the kitchen is like the size of like 3 inches. And their whole entire kitchen. And it's like, damn, everybody has the latest iPhone. Everybody has the 72-inch TV that they got from Target or Best Buy during Black Friday. Now let's switch to this video real quick and play this video. Let's listen to this guy.
$1,000 for a car. So I'm like, hey man, how much is this? Nah, how much is this one? So finally the old guy says, yo man, you asked about all these cars, can you afford them? Now I'm pissed. I said, what the fuck you just said to me? So I buy 3. That one, and that, and I want them dropped off. Move the seat back today, I want them dropped. So I got 3 Rolls Royces that never dropped. So they go another $1 million. I don't want to spend 400. Pause.
Now that's step 3. That's a typical Negro. He said, I buy 3 Rolls Royce that I don't even drive. Hell, Shaq, if you looking at this video, can I have one? Can my brother over here have one? You're not driving them. They successfully sold to a Negro. They successfully sold you cars that you don't even drive because you was just insulted based upon what? Whether or not you could afford these cars. Think about it. That's something that he wanted, but he didn't necessarily need. Like a lot of these rappers, a lot of these celebrities, they'll buy what? A 7-bedroom house, 3 baths, and there's only them and their wife. That's it. Hello? Everybody can't sit in the toilet. Hell, you don't have enough kids to fit in all those bedrooms. Why do you need that mansion? Realistically, an average family just need a 3-bedroom. 1 room for the parents, 1 room for the boys, 1 room for the girls. Get bunk beds. That's the purpose. It's for you to reserve space. But you buying a 7-bedroom mansion? For what? I want that video of 50 Cent saying that some hallways he's scared of in his house. Meanwhile, read that precept. While they find that, read this precept real quick.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 6 and verse 6.
Come on.
But godliness with content.
Godliness, meaning that you keeping the commandments. You keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. And based upon everything that the Most High brings you through, and based upon everything that the Most High gives you at that given time, you have to be content with it. Godliness, keeping the commandments, and content. Read.
But godliness with contentment is great gain.
Great gain. Because it's great gain when you have a family. A lot of baddies, right? That's what they call it? Baddies? A lot of baddies, they will say what? What they say, get the bag before a family. But the thing is, the trickery of that is if you get the bag before you get a husband or a lord, is that you don't necessarily, the guy that you're courting, you don't necessarily know that he's in it for what? Your money or for you. You are confused. But if you have a ride or die that was there with you when you was broke, when your house is all dirty, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You don't have a ride or die. Now you know that person is there with you through the thick and thin. But if you try to court when you already got everything, now you're confused. You don't know if he's really there or he or she is really there for you. Come on, play that video.
I don't want a big house no more. I experienced that with the Tyson mansion. Boy, it's 55,000 square feet.
Well, you bought Mike Tyson's mansion? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then you look down the hallway and you go, whenever you look down the hallway in your house and you don't want to go down there.
Because it's so long?
And you go, I don't care what's going on down there. I don't want to go over there.
That's it? All right, switch back to me. Now, he said, yo, he did several interviews on that. So he says, sometimes he hears something fall down, and he looked down the hallway. He like, damn, I don't want to go down there. It is paranormal activity in his house. He has such a big house that it's paranormal activity. You know the movies where somebody's just dragging by the feet and they scream, ah! And they see a pot go down and they're like, oh my gosh, that is paranormal activity. Especially if your house creaks. You're like, damn, I should be the only one in here. Why is it making that sound? Come on. Read this. Read the next verse.
Verse 7. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out.
Meaning that you came into this world naked. Every baby is born naked. You have brought nothing to the table. And then when you die, what you're going to die? You're going to probably die with a suit or some clothes on, but you're going to turn to bones. You're going to turn to dust and ashes. And you're not going to carry nothing into the afterlife. Meaning that you're going to be sleeping and you're going to be chill and relaxed. And all your money that you have stored up in this lifetime is going to go to the next person. You are not going to carry anything to the afterlife. Come on. It's not in Egypt. In Egypt, they'll bury the servants and all the possessions. No, you're not going to carry anything to the afterlife. It is certain that you're not going to carry nothing in the afterlife. Read.
And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content.
You have to be content. You have to be content with what you have. A lot of people isn't content to what they have. They were. Let me pull up the folder, please. Let me get the weddings. Because the thing is, people would spend $14,000. People would spend $17,000. Hell, people would spend an average of $34,000 for one day in this lifetime. For one day, they'll borrow from their 401k. They'll borrow from their pension. They'll save up money for a $4,000 ring, a $2,000 dress, and what? A $34,000 wedding for one day, for one night, to rent out a venue. Come on, let me get 3. Play 3. Play 6 for me.
$35,000 in the Southeast states. If a house is $200,000, $250,000, $35,000 with 10% down payment for a new home purchase program at prime rates, that's a home ownership down payment, right? Wouldn't it be better just to buy a house? 44% of us own a home, by the way, black people. Buy a house compared to 75% of our white counterparts. Buy a house and do the wedding in your new house and give as a wedding present the keys to your bride. There you go. Now that's dropping the mic, because the number one way you build wealth in America is home ownership. 75% mainstream, 44% black America, that 35%, 30% delta, that difference, that's generational wealth that we're not making. I mean, that's the biggest way you gap the lack of generational wealth is home ownership. They aren't growing any more land. Here's a great opportunity. Take that money, empower your husband to make a better decision, or your wife, whoever the earner is, to buy a house, become a homeowner, right? And have your ceremony in the backyard or in the living room of your own house, and do it. Why rent a hall when you can own the hall? I'm John Hope Bryant. This is
Pause. So the average wedding costs $35,000. That's a down deposit on a house. Now, guess what? When you buy the house, you need furniture. But now think about it, right? That's a big down deposit, right? So that's an empty house. Invite everybody over, have the wedding there, have your relatives cook the food, that's your catering, and then you have a wedding in your backyard. You understand? I was with a client, and he said, yo, he has 20 acres back there in his backyard. And I'm like, damn, 20 acres? I said, what you gonna do with it? He said, yo, that's white ground. I just do my 4x4s and ride through the woods and stuff like that. And I'm like, damn, 20 acres. And it's just like them long grain up there. So I'm like, damn, like, better chop that thing down and build something on it, you know, like have a unit home or something. I'm pretty sure he's doing something with it. But the logical thing for a black Negro, they don't think logical. They're going to spend all this money for a wedding. Why? Play.
On civil rights, from civil rights to civil rights, from the streets to the suites, up and out to your prosperity and your future, please listen to my podcast. Download and subscribe it, Money and Wealth, on the Black Effect Network, on iHeartRadio. Every Thursday, new episodes, top 100 for business, top 50 for entrepreneurship in the country.
You could take that down. He made the point already. To the next video. I think it's video 6. So, how to sell to a Negro. This is how you sell to a Negro. A Negro can't distinguish their wants from their needs. Come on, play this.
Weddings are one of the most financially irresponsible traditions we have. And nobody questions it. Nobody says anything. We act like it's a mandatory part of a relationship, like it's a prerequisite to a happy life. It's absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion.
Pause it. You know why it's ridiculous? Because our people work backwards. They'll move in with each other, they will have kids, and then they will have a wedding. In the Bible, if they only read the Bible, you're supposed to, get married before you even lay down with each other, before you even have kids, and before you even move in with each other. You're supposed to have a ceremony, a wedding ceremony that's honorable amongst your parents, that's honorable amongst your peers. You understand? But our people work backwards. And wedding rings, wedding rings is not tradition according to the Bible. It's a financial burden. A financial burden. There's many videos on it. Play on.
And y'all don't even realize how wild it is, which is why we're creating this conversation today. We've created a culture where the first major decision that two people make together is going into debt to impress people who are going to show up for free, eat all your food, and still complain about how dry the chicken was.
Hold up! Hold up! Black people do not like dry chicken. Hell, we fry our chicken in oil just for some taste.
He ain't lying.
We fry our chicken in some oil just for some taste. You know them greasy fried chickens? The fried chicken you take a napkin with and it's all soaked up? That's black people. You gonna complain about the dry chicken? You spend so much money, people gonna complain about the dry chicken? Take this video down. It's pissing me off. It's pissing me off. Because our people, instead of spending all that money, they could build financial wealth. They can invest that money into stocks. If you're renting, you get a home. And that home will be able to generate wealth for your children. If they're smart about it. You understand? Now. Read that precept. Come on.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 1 and verse 6. But godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out.
Go ahead.
And having food and raiment, let us be with content.
Why it says food and raiment? Meaning that's the chief things in life. Having those chief things in life, it brings contentment. We have to be what? Content with our things. Content with our belongings. Come on, is it more?
1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 9.
Go ahead.
But they that will be rich.
They that be rich. Read.
Fall into temptation.
Fall in what to what?
Into temptation. And a snare.
Fall into a trap. Now let me get them Diddy videos, please. Bring forth them Diddy videos. I want them Diddy videos. Because a lot of people go into the rap game, go into the music industry, and they fall into what? Because they think they're going to make it big. They fall into contentment. They think they got it made already. Now, let's play this video, please.
Some days, those girls next to me.
Hold on!
Woke up.
Hold on! Put me picture in picture! I got to give you some background story. I watched the 50 Cent documentary on Netflix. And it was one part that stood out to me. This is a music producer. He said he was looking for some money from Diddy that would change his whole entire life. How much money was it? Roughly $30,000 for his Diddy's Love album, right? So this is this brother's testimonial. Play the video.
Some days, those girls next to me. Woke up some days, he was in the bed. I would wake up feeling sore, still not understanding exactly.
Diddy ram out your back door, brother. Like you always state the bumbo clot obvious. You come and blood clot tell me about some days you wake up, woman next to you, then some days Diddy and you feel discomfort. Your back door get ram out. And you like that. You didn't like that because you stay. Come on,
all right, pause it. Pause it. I gotta translate. When Diddy rum up your back door, meaning Diddy went through an entrance that doesn't belong there.
Why are you gay?
Diddy went through your back door, and Diddy never paid the guy. The thing is, Diddy never paid this guy, and then he went back to work. He went to them Diddy parties, and he kept on getting backdoored. And he said, yo, I just don't understand what happened.
Help me.
Play the video.
about opportunity. Nobody no blood clot here for bumbo clot opportunity. I want to that brother there. We tell you about some of the youth who last to the sauce, you know. Piss me off, you know, the bumbo clot man in your man. Piss me off, man. I say I lock off my bumbo clot TV. And I say, boy, come off from my blood clot screen.
Get the other one. Let me get the other one. Let me see. Read it. Read it real quick. Hold up. Hold up. Because you got to think logically with some covetous people. To distinguish whether or not you covetous, that means you're going to be, what? You're going to do some things that you don't usually do. For what? The dollar. You don't necessarily need the dollar. We broke. We poor. We're going to have to pour among us always. But the thing is, when you violate yourself in order for you to make money, it's a problem. Read this.
The book of Sirach, chapter 10 and verse 9. Why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. For such a one setteth his own soul to sale. Because while he lives, he casteth away his bowels.
When you cast away your bowels, that means your back door didn't run up. Diddy done run up your backside. That's what it means when you cast away your bowels. Somebody is running up your back door and drugging you all the way up.
It's an evil
That's
world
a
we
wicked
live in.
thing God says. When you covetous, when you willing to sell your whole entire beliefs, your whole entire well-doing, your whole entire morals in order to get $1. And it's only just $30,000. I'd rather pay a $5 lottery ticket than to, you know what I'm saying? You might as well pay a $5 lottery ticket. Take your chances with a $5 lottery ticket than to get your back door done run out.
Damn.
Come on, my brother. Come on, play that second video, video 4.
So I just finished watching this Diddy documentary presented by 50 Cent on Netflix. And I gotta say, I didn't realize Diddy was the monster that he was. Also on top of that, he's very cheap. Well, not to himself. I come to realize he didn't like to pay anyone. While this documentary for some may have answered a lot of questions, I felt like it left me asking more stuff. Because there were definitely a lot of victims in here. And I understand if music is your passion, you are willing to do anything to get it. But sometimes you gotta draw the line.
Except running up your back door.
Damn.
Come on. Some things don't belong some places. You cannot run up the back door for some bread.
Y'all all right?
Now, there's another movie. There's a movie called like Red Scarlet or something like that. That'll be good if y'all could pull it up. If y'all can't pull it up, it's okay. But go ahead, play this video.
There's a lot of evil in the music industry that I didn't know existed. Back then when I used to rap, yes, I used to rap. I used to want to be a rapper. Anyway, if I would have made it, Lord knows the stuff that I would have had to endure just to get to the top. Now, even with the court cases, with the whole Cassie situation and them saying it's not illegal to be a freak, it's definitely not. But as a man, if you can say that you woke up sore the next day and you felt like stuff was going on and you still went back, and I'm just speaking about one of the gentlemen in it, not the women, is the price of success and fame that important? Because me personally, I would have never went back. Anything like that.
Stop. The thing is, too, is that you could take this video down, right? He's mentioning that gentleman, right? I would have, personally, I wouldn't have been in that situation. So let me take myself at it. Let me take that. But the dude should have went to the court, took out a loan, get some lawyers, and sued Diddy. He wanted $30,000. He should have sued Diddy for $30 million. Hell, $30 billion. You understand? Especially with the testimony he brought out. And probably he got his money worth with the Netflix documentary. But it's not the time or place to deal with that thing, you know? You should have dealt with it when you got violated, sir. And the thing is, that's the price when it comes to a covetous person or a covetous individual. They will do anything to get to the top. And that's not necessarily how to go about things. Give me Proverbs chapter 30, verse 8.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 30 and verse 8.
Mhm.
Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches.
Mhm.
Feed me with food convenient for me,
Mhm.
lest I be full and deny thee.
So when you get to the top, what, you're going to deny God? Read.
And say, who is the Lord?
So you're not going to know God when you get to the top. When you get your money, when you get that covetous lifestyle, when you're spending thousands of dollars on bottles in the club, you ain't going to consider God. Read.
Or lest I be poor and steal. And
so when you, that's what Solomon's saying. He said, yo, give me things that's convenient for me. Give me things that would make me content. In my self-examination, okay, I can live off this bare minimum. You understand? So it says, give me certain things where I can live off of. Because if you get too poor, you're going to deny the Lord. If you get too rich, you're going to deny the Lord. The funny thing about black people, when they're in trouble, when they need help, they say, why, Lord, Jesus, come help me. No, you're supposed to be praising the Lord 24/7 through your thick and your thins, through your ups and your lows, through your downfalls, so on and so forth. But there's two particular reasons why you will deny the Lord. If you're too poor, you're going to steal. If you're too rich, you're going to deny God. Come on.
And steal and take the name of my God in vain.
Meaning what? You're going to take the name of the Lord in vain because you're going to know the truth. You're going to know there's only one way to get to salvation. But then again, you're going to steal. You're going to do all this wickedness because what? Your covetousness. Your mind, every man is given to covetousness. Every man. That's one of the sins that is plaguing our minds. You understand? That's why it's a part of the Big Ten. Come on. Let me get Job chapter 1, verse 21. Without God to govern our lives, we will fall in a lot of diverse sins. Diverse sins. All right? Let me get that.
The book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
And said, naked came I out of my mother's womb.
All right.
And naked shall I return thither.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away.
This is one of my favorite precepts. Because God is the one that's in control of everything. And you got to believe that. And you got to know that. You understand? You came in this world with nothing. You're going to leave this world with nothing. God is going to give and God is going to take away what seems fit. You understand? So to be covetous and to want everything you just want, that's not necessarily the things that you need. And Most High would tend to take away the good life that you have just to reveal your covetous soul. Just to reveal, okay, damn, you have too much. I gave you too much. Now you're going off in sin. Now you're going off in wickedness. Now you're buying things that you don't necessarily need instead of giving alms. Because the alms is what's going to deliver you from death. But then again, you're taking that money and you're spending it on death. You're spending it on sneakers. You're spending it on apparel. You're spending it on fancy cars. You're spending it on, liquor. You're spending it, everything that you don't need, you're spending. And the things that's going to deliver you from death, which is your alms deeds, your finances to take the profits to the four corners of the earth, you're not putting your money towards that. Guess what? God is going to take that away from you. And what you're going to do, you're going to be like, damn, I'm broke after. You're going to be like, damn, I'm broke afterwards. But then again, in your self-examination, you're going to realize, okay, I didn't really need that to begin with. I don't really need that. Let me get the coach, Michigan coach.
Michigan head coach.
Now, picture. Now, snow bunnies, which is the white woman. They are poison. You don't need it at all. That's a sin according to God's laws. God commands us to what? Love our own people, the 12 tribes of Israel. But this brother got a little bit too much. Go ahead, read this.
Michigan head coach Sharon Moore reportedly earning $6 million a year.
$6 million a year. That would make a Negro go crazy. $6 million a year. Hell, a lot of people, their college is like $100,000 plus. So some people paying their college tuition forever. But $6 million a year, you could go through any college you want. Read.
Allegedly had an affair with his personal assistant, which resulted in a pregnancy that ended in an abortion.
So what this gentleman just did, is that it on it?
Following her taking legal action, Moore has been terminated from Michigan and is now accused of attempting to threaten her at her home. He has been arrested for assault.
So now this gentleman making $6 million a year, just like Diddy, is resulted into a confined one, probably 2-bedroom cell and in prison for assault or for other racketeering and things. So these are people that's in the top that have been resulted to nothing based upon what they want. Covetousness. He has one snow bunny. He wanted 2 snow bunnies. And snow bunnies are poison because it's against God's laws. So God is going to judge you either way. But the thing is, the guy wasn't content. He wasn't content with his $6 million. And even though his wife was a heathen, he wasn't even content with that. He wanted to dive into different flesh. He wanted to dive into other lifestyles. And enforce one sin, one sin leads to another. Enforce, he wanted to commit murder. And then in addition to that, he wanted to put bodily harm and force her into murder. So not only he got fired, he killed the he killed the baby, you know what I'm saying? And now he's locked up for X amount of years. So when he comes out, he ain't getting another job. He won't be even able to coach. Let me get another one from that. Come on, read that.
Michigan's former head coach Jim Harbaugh earned over $11 million in 2023.
Now, most Negroes never will see that amount of money. But we spend trillions of dollars every year. But we'll never see that amount of money because we don't know what to do with our money. Come on.
Including a $7 million base salary and $3 million plus in bonuses, while the current coach, Sharon Moore, recently fired, was set to earn around $6 million in 2025 plus bonuses.
So a lot. Most of us, we can't even think upon the millions. But this guy was set. This guy was a college coach set to be an NFL coach. And then that could lead to an NFL owner. But he was not satisfied. He was not satisfied. And hell, his wife probably going to leave him after this. Yes, because not only adultery, but he's broke in prison. So, he tarnished his life based upon covetousness. He just didn't have enough. He couldn't find a black sister. And one sin leads to another, and then now he has what? Nothing. Read this precept real quick.
Always.
Bless the Lord thy God always. How you going to bless the Lord thy God always? Is what? You're giving your alms. You understand? You doing the things that's what gonna be able to obtain the things up high, not not the earthly things. In earth, in our captivity, we only want the things that's gonna make us go by. Cause the things, this is a dunghill. This is compared to a dunghill. You know, this is like a piece of the cake that the Lord's gonna bless us with, right? So we want to seek the things up high. Read.
And desire of him that thy ways may be directed.
Because you want God to direct your paths. Direct how? On the things that you need, not the things that you want. Because the things that you want tend to fall under covetousness. So you just need the things that you need. If you want your little Section 8, you understand? You on your unemployment. That's what the God is going to give you until you can get on your feet and you could be able to do the works of the Lord. That's the way you could be attentive to God. And then once you get out of that low condition, you do the bare minimum so you get by. Because you got to live based upon the things that you need, not the things that you want. Read.
And that all thy paths and counsel may prosper.
Because why? When you study it, when you put in that work for the Lord, all your paths, all the things that you're going to do, you're going to prosper in. Not necessarily the things that you think in your mind how it's going to prosper, but based upon what God has in store for you, it's going to prosper. Read on.
For every nation hath not counsel.
Because why? Every nation is not given the living God. Not given the living God that's able to bless you. Daniel, the Persian Mede, the Babylonian captivity, they understood that there's only one living God. There's only one living God that blesses. That's able to shut the lions den. They're able to control fire. They're able to give you the things that you need in that personal time that you need it for. Go ahead.
But the Lord himself giveth all good things.
All good things, the things that you need. The children, the food, the shelter. That's the things that you need. God is going to provide that for you. Go ahead.
And he humbleth whom he will.
Because the thing is, the Lord may have to take things away from you in order to humble you, to make you come to your senses, for you to re-examine yourself. Do I need all this stuff that I have? Do I need another couch? I already have a couch, even though that couch is kind of broken a little bit. The couch. You see where you at? Go ahead.
And he humbleth whom he will, as he will. Now therefore, my son,
listen up good.
Remember my commandments.
Because all in all, you got to remember the commandments. Because through you keeping the commandments, you're going to get the blessings of the Lord. Now read it slowly now. Next part, read.
Neither let them be put out of thy mind.
Because what? Through the commandments, you're going to be prosperous and you will have good success. As Joshua 1:8 says. All right, go to James chapter 4, verse 7. Because these are the things that we got to consider when we in the truth. In the world, we bought the flashy things. We got the BMWs. We got the Cadillacs. We got all the designer things. We done did it all in the world. But when we come into the truth, we got to re-examine and be like, hi, we don't need this. We don't need that. We need the prophets to travel the world, because why? The prophets traveling the world will bring the end of Esau's world. And that's what we need. Consequences for it. I want to rule the world and conquer the nations. This is his time now. We're going to get our time. In order for us to get our time, we got to put forth our money where our mouth is. And that's in this truth. And the prophets gathering. Read.
The book of James chapter 4 and verse 7. Submit yourselves therefore to God.
Submit yourself to God. Read.
Resist the devil.
Resist all sins. Resist all the pleasures of this world. Resist covetousness. Go ahead.
And he will flee from you.
The the damn devil, all them wicked thoughts that you got, oh, I gotta buy this, I gotta buy that will flee from you. I gotta get this, I gotta get that will flee from you. Go ahead.
Draw nigh to God.
Draw nigh to what's right, this law, statutes, and commandments, read.
And he will draw nigh to you.
God will give you what you need. You got to examine yourself. Go ahead.
Cleanse your hands, ye sinners.
Wash your hands. Because the thing is, some married brothers and some single brothers, they will have dirty hands. God says clean your hands. Why? Because when you focus on the things that are right, you're going to be able to what? Attain a wife. When you focus on things that's right, you're going to end up utilizing your wife for the things that is precious in her. You don't got to deal with what? Sinful things. You don't got to deal with porn. Because the thing, porn, you want the next model, you want the BBLs, you want Pinky, you want Booty Talks 49. You understand? I think that's a classic. You want Vanessa Blue. You want all these wicked things, but yo, you ain't supposed to be looking at those things. You're supposed to be utilizing your wife, and if you're single, you're supposed to be working towards getting a wife. That's the things that you need. A wife is what you need. All the extra stuff is what you want, and the wants, it tends to be sin. Let me get Sirach 40 and 18. Let's get to things that you should desire. 18, go ahead.
The book of Sirach, chapter 40 and verse 18. To labor and to be content with that a man hath is a sweet life.
To be content is a sweet life. When you work and then you get what you need, it's a sweet life. Read.
But he that findeth a treasure is above them both.
We're ending off with Sirach 11, verse 23 and 24. Let's read that fast real quick. Because when you labor, you're laboring for the things that you need for your household, for yourself. But the things that you want, you ain't supposed to be splurging your money on it. You splurge your money on travel, splurge your money on teaching the gospel. Go ahead.
The book of Sirach, chapter 11, verse 23. Say not, what profit is there of my service? And what good thing shall I have hereafter? Again, say not, I have enough and possess many things. And what evil can come to me hereafter?
Go ahead.
In the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction.
That's a very important verse, right? Read it from 23 again.
Verse 23, say not, what profit is there of my service? And what good thing shall I have hereafter? Again, say not, I have enough.
So there's gonna be a form of profit for all the work that you've done, right? But in order for you not to distinguish the labor, the profit, what you're buying, you're spending your things on things that you don't necessarily need. You're spending on the things that you want, the things that you desire. Go ahead.
Again, say not, I have enough and possess many things. And what evil can come to me hereafter?
That means you're good. You say, I have enough. This is it. This is it for me. This is what you're saying. You're full. You have enough money. You can buy everything that you want. That's not a good thing. Read.
In the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction.
When you're good, when you're sitting back, there's a forgetfulness of affliction. Meaning that you forget all the troubles that your people are facing. You can't relate. You can't relate on the things that our people are going through day in and day out. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I got me. I do me. Me and my family is good. Me and my family is eating. Nah, you got to remember the times when you didn't have anything. You got to remember the times that you was down, low down. That will help you self-examine and keep yourself in check. Read.
And in the day of affliction, there is no more remembrance of prosperity.
It's vice versa. Meaning when you being afflicted, when you get that foot up your behind, you don't remember the times when it's good. But when you get good, you don't remember the times where it was bad. That's why Solomon said, yo, feed me with food convenient for me. Give me the things that I just need. Not the things that I want. Because the things that you want will end up in sin. You end up having nothing if you buy up everything that you want. When you put yourself in debt. We gotta self-examine Israel. And we gotta take everything into consideration, because the things that we want will end up putting us impoverished and making us broke. And it's a detriment to our spirit. So we got to focus on just the bare minimum and focus on what God has in store for us, which is only the things that we need. And we got to distinguish what we covet after and what is not. I want one more precept, covet the best gifts. I don't know if I brought it out.
Book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 12 and verse 31. But covet earnestly the best gifts.
The only thing that you're supposed to be coveting is God's laws, statutes, and commandments. How to be civil with one another. How to be moral. How to keep God's commandments. That's the best gifts. How to deal with one another. How to be charitable amongst one another. That's what you're supposed to be coveted of. But sin, don't be covet yourself, because we don't need it. Sin is what we want because it's desirable. Is it more?
And yet show I unto you a more excellent way.
That's it. So the excellent way that we're supposed to be doing is God's commandments, because God is going to provide everything that we need. And I pray to God that you glean something for this class. And with that, there's another class with Jersey. Most High in Christ bless you. We say shalom.
Across the earth, the prophets move. From city streets to distant lands, the message is the same. Israel must rise. Through every quest, every journey, the truth spreads. No border can contain it. No distance can silence it. Our nation lives in every moment. In joy, we celebrate marriages. In sorrow, we honor our dead. On the Sabbath, we gather as one. Families rejoicing together, bound by the commandments of God. Yet are we tried. From the stones in Kenya to the hatred in Montana, we endure as a soldier of the Lord. And still, the mission expands. On the airwaves, on the screens, in every nation under heaven, Israel's voice is heard. We build our communities. We raise our children in royalty. We restore what was broken. We clean what was defiled. We show the world who we are. This is Israel united in Christ. Nation in motion. Nation endures.